Greetings everyone, it's Logical here. And let's design a board game together. Why, you might ask, since there are thousands of games out there? Well, the reason is selfish. I want to share this with my wife. Although she loves Dead of Winter and it's a complicated game, she's not a war gamer. I really want to make this game accessible to any individual who doesn't want to read a pile of rule books. Let's start with the basic, the dice. And if you don't have those dice, just go to any game store and ask for dice for nerds. You might get a nasty look, but you know what, they'll get over it. In Nerd Talk, the D20, the most important die. It brings tears and laughter, but mostly tears. And there's a Monopoly die. We call it D6 because it has 6 facets. You got the D8 because it has 8 sides. And then there's the D10. Well, the D10 is a bit special because you can have roll hundreds with it. So you notice there's one has 2 numbers, has a 0 to 9 with a 0 next to it, and there's one that has a 0 to 9 without the 0. So what happens is that you roll the one that has the number and the 0 like that, and you get as a result 62 because you have the 6 and the 0 is replaced by the 2. Without realizing it, you're being nerdified. But if you don't want to roll 100, you just roll the single digit D10. We are almost done with the dice. This is the D12. There has 12 facets to this one. I left the D4 because out of sync with the rest, because this is the die we're going to start with the rules. It's kind of like a pyramid, but it's not. Each of its triangular peak has a number shared on all 3 sides. To make the game more interesting, I'm just going to start flipping through, looking for, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Just showing that I'm doing things in that book. So it's not being useless. To make the game more interesting and different each time you play, let's start with the environment. And with the environment, we're going to select which time of the day it is, because each period of time of the day, each slot of the day, will have an effect on how the game is being played, or that session being played. So we have got the morning, and we got the afternoon. I'm pretty slow at writing. I usually type, so losing a lot of my dexterity with writing. And there's the evening. My handwriting is terrible. Wasn't used to be that bad. And there's night. You can decide as a group if you're going to be playing, which period of time you're going to be playing, or you can use the die. Let's roll, and it's 3. We pick 3, so 3 is evening, because we're going to go in order. Like this, morning 1, afternoon 2, evening 3, night 4. So we pick 3. Now, let's make this more interesting. Yeah, sure, there's morning, afternoon, evening, night, and it's all nice and dandy, but there's more about the day than just that. There's the weather, and no better way to start the weather by misspelling sunny. Let's scratch this. Sunny. So there also rain can affect the game, and there's fog can affect the game. Now, I'm not too sure about the 4th one because we're going to roll the die 4 again. Let's try snow for, snow. Maybe windy. Let's try that one. Nah, bad. Hey, why not bad? Bad is good. So we'll do the same thing. We'll roll a die 4. And hey, you know what? Why don't you download that Dice Tower? I have it for free on my store. You can download it and 3D print it for free. And yes, free nerd stuff. Oh, rolled a 3 again. Huh. Trust me, it's a coincidence. I've rolled many times. I tested that Dice Tower. So we got evening fog. Let's decide what those temperature will affect. Now, a fog will give you a -2 to your all your dice roll. Rain will give you a difficulty of -1. And for 4, bad, -3. Sunny, no changes to any of your dice rolls. Basically, what that means, if you roll an initiative of 10, you actually, so the total will be as if you rolled an 8. All the actions you make will have a -2, but your damages that you roll won't be affected by that. See how all those dice are now meant to be used. We'll go with combat dice. Those are the basic dice roll used for all damage roll. You got the D4 that is hand-to-hand combat, so it's fists, claws, kicks, trips, or tripping or any physical use of force. D6 are knives, clubs, sticks, any blunt object. D8 are projectile weapons like slingshot, bow, any type of weapon of throwing nature. Then we're going to move on to D10, which is sidearms. Handgun, blaster, laser gun, crossbow. We got now the D12, which is heavy weapon, rifle, heavy blaster, sniper rifle. There's the D20, which is area effect, grenade, flamethrower, heavy repeating blaster, any weapons that's like Rambo style, or an ogre throwing goblins at people. And finally, the largest amount of damages, the D100, which is those two D10s. Now we finally know how those damage dice work. The next video is going to be about how initiative work, how movement work, and then we're going to move on to your characters, what kind of characters you have and what can they do and not do.